Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is November 8th, 2022, and geez, what the fuck was that? That was brutal. I'm coming to you a lot later than usual today because obviously I've been managing my positions as best as I can. I've been trying to, restructure my trades. I've been working. So I've just, had a short night, didn't sleep much because I could see the volatility kind of beginning. And then when it started to happen, I got up, I took care of things, and then as it went, I'm pretty much glued to my screen, and I'm managing. In any case, I think things have settled down enough where I have a decent idea as to what's going on. So let's get into that, okay? Let's get into that. Let me say this: I'm going to be putting in a trade on during this stream. Okay, I'm gonna try to trade Bitcoin on high leverage because I believe that this is the last move. This is the last corrective move right here. I think what we've got here is an initial break of structure and maybe a zigzag, maybe a flat correction, but I'm waiting for this before going up. Okay. And then obviously we'll see how this goes if this isn't another piece of a corrective move or if this is a full-on impulsive move. Okay, so any case, that's what I'm gonna be trying to do. So I'm monitoring that. Okay, let's start off with the DXY. Okay, so what the hell happened? This was not something that happened in every market. Okay, people like to say Bitcoin and the traditional stock market and stuff like that, they're correlated or whatever. They're only correlated insofar as the DXY moves both of them. Okay, but both are doing different things. All right, let's prove it. Look at what the DXY did today, or sorry, look at what the traditional markets did today. Okay. They didn't do much of anything, right? Look at this. It was a relatively tame day in the traditional markets. Today was the 8th, yeah? So you kind of did a little bit of this, okay? Very little volatility, relatively little volatility in traditional markets. All right, and actually, if anything, you've got some upside. Let's go on the daily time frame. Okay, on the traditional markets, you have a net positive move, okay? However, in Bitcoin, we know what happened. We know what happened in crypto, right? Some of my assets went down 30%. Did not expect that, right? Did not expect that. Here's my new watch list, right? Here's what I've managed to protect and defend. But, my reserve rights went down 33%. Like, what's going on? That's definitely not anything like what happened in the traditional markets. Now, why is this going on? Because based off of what I've seen in the charts, the S&P and NASDAQ, they're in a corrective uptrend, okay? This is eventually going to come back down, all right? But right now, you're kind of like in... you did your 2 degrees of AB basing, and then you're going to go up for some time, and then you're going to come back down on the higher time frames. But Bitcoin is preparing, Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market is preparing for a bona fide, proper uptrend, that's not in a corrective mode. It is in a fully impulsive mode. Now, we like to look at the DXY. We know that's the market mover. The DXY did what it was supposed to do. Okay, we've been looking at it and thinking it was going to be bearish, and that's exactly what we got. We got another big red candle. Obviously the day's not closed yet. It's going to close soon, just in a few minutes, but thus far, I mean, everything looks good, right? You're basically setting up this massive head and shoulders pattern, and you're breaking down past the neckline, right? And that's eventually going to yield a massive move to the upside. So DXY is doing what it was supposed to do. If you go on the smaller time frame, you can see that, today pretty much was a down day. You had a little bit of volatility, but more by and large, the big move was down, okay, in the DXY. So if the big move's down in the DXY, we should expect Bitcoin, crypto, stocks, equities to go up, right? So this is the problem. This correlation we look at is perfectly inverse on a high time frame. And on the low time frames, we tend to see some sort of correlation, right? Let me make sure my mic's on. Osman says, hi Dean, I just added more KSM near and XRP when they hit the bottom. Hopefully we will hold. Hey Osman. Oh, awesome. I'm happy to hear that. So yeah, my mic's on. Sometimes I go through and talk and I'm like, realize that I haven't unmuted myself. In any case, so we have the DXY going down. Crypto and Bitcoin should go up, but that's not what happened today, right? So this is my first mistake. I've been so conditioned into kind of getting myself to think that correlation happens perfectly even on a small time frame, when this is proof that it doesn't necessarily follow in lockstep on the small time frame. Eventually, you're going to get that big move to the upside in Bitcoin and in crypto. But it doesn't necessarily mean one 5-minute candle down for the DXY, one 5-minute candle up for Bitcoin. It doesn't always work that way, okay? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And as you can see, today, you got this big move to the downside, okay? But the day's not over. The day's not over. And we may or may not, excuse me, we may or may not end the day green. It may take us into the next daily candle, but I think the move up is going very soon. And as you can see, structurally, we've managed to hold support. Okay, this massive support. I misread this. Okay, and again, these corrective moves are treacherous. If you are trading this with leverage, good luck. This is tough. Myself, I'm talking to myself. Like, if you're on spot, you just add whenever you dip or whatever, you just leave it. There's nothing to be done. But on leverage, you got to do all these machinations. You got to make sure that your positions are protected. You got to make sure you don't get stopped out or wicked out or liquidated. It's tough. High risk, high reward plays, okay? And at the bottom of a market, by and large, either low leverage or spot. But if you're going to do high leverage, be very careful. Use a small percentage of your portfolio to do that. Not financial advice, but that's what I would recommend. In any case, structurally, we're fine. But I did not read this as a corrective wave, okay? I read this, as you all know, on this channel as an impulsive wave. So I definitely didn't see this coming, okay? But this was now clear that this was a corrective wave and this was an impulsive, a counter-corrective wave. So you can see here, you get an A wave and a B wave, which should complete the correction, this entire corrective consolidation reversal sequence, okay? But I definitely didn't foresee this. I'm not gonna lie and say I did. I didn't. But it doesn't ruin the central thesis that this level is a consolidation reversal pattern, and any accumulation here will yield. Basically, this represents the bottom of the market, and we launch from here. Okay. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. By and large, more often than not, the bottoms or before a big move, you get a very, very volatile move in the opposite direction. Okay, so I was like, oh, rounded bottom, we should probably continue this way, and maybe we wick down here and then continue up. Nope, very dramatic. Came down, grabbed liquidity from the bottom of the bear market completely. Okay, so now let's jump into the smaller time frame and see what's going on here. Okay, what am I saying? I want to put in a high leverage long. To put in, first of all, this is a really, really challenging trade. Why? Because now I have to read corrective price action, and you can see just how crazy and capricious and, irregular corrective price action is. It's characterized by its irregularity, right? The A wave can go like this, and the counter B wave can go like that, and you can have sometimes a composed B wave or a regular. It's very, very complicated. But here is my reasoning. My reasoning is that what we saw today was a 3-wave pattern, okay? And we know if it's 3 waves, it's corrective, okay? So this is the A wave, this is the B wave, and this is the C wave. As you can see, each of these is comprised of 3. 3 waves here, 3 waves here, 5 waves here. This is obviously what I'm reading post facto. Had I known, I would have saved a lot of money. Fuck. But in any case, you win some, you lose some. That's part of trading. If you don't know how to lose, don't start trading on leverage. Okay? Only stay on spot if you don't know how to lose. It's very, very challenging. You gotta know. You have to be prepared to sometimes take losses. But in the aggregate, obviously you win. So you win some, you lose some, but you win more than you lose. That's the whole name of the game. Although I, as a perfectionist, would love to win every single last trade and to make every single last read perfect, it doesn't happen, okay? Trading is a fucking difficult task. It's a difficult job. It's mentally draining. It's physically draining. It is very tough, emotionally, everything. But, this is experience talking. When I started, having taken, the drubbing I did today, I wouldn't have been able to even stream or even be composed, to be honest. It's really, really tough, Anyway, so this is what I'm seeing here. Okay, yeah, sorry. So this is a 3-wave move, right? As I'm reading it. So if that's a 3-wave move, just 3-wave move, 3-wave, what? Sorry, I don't want to be sloppy. Yeah, okay, got it. So it's like something like this. Okay, that's a 3-wave move, right? Whatever you want to call it, small a, big A, it doesn't matter. Initial break of structure, that's corrective, right? And then this is, in aggregate, a B wave, okay? And we can break this down if you'd like, but, on the smaller time frame, you can see that this breaks down as an A wave, a B wave. I think the B wave actually goes... The B wave is tricky as hell. I'm trying to make sense of what the hell this is. Let's go on the smaller time frame. Let's go on the hourly. I just told you, didn't I? Okay, whatever the read is, this is almost definitely a 3-wave move right there. And I think this is the A of that, and this is the C of that. Oh, okay, I'm confusing myself. Obviously, this entire B wave broken down in and of itself is also comprised of a 3, 3, 5, okay? So that's why I'm confused. But yeah, just all put together, this is the B wave. So all I'm saying is, based off of my read that I'm pretty confident of, this A and B leads to the end of this corrective sequence, and now we can experience or expect a move up, right? It's the full moon, lots of volatility, you grab liquidity from the bottom of a bear market, you've wicked out, or you've liquidated shorts, you've liquidated longs, you've liquidated all kinds of positions. The order books are clean. So I'm very confident that this big move, if it has to come, it's coming now, okay? I don't see us going down to 5K or 9K or whatever some people say. I'm seeing us hold this and move from here. Now, going on the smaller time frame, like I said, you have to now, given that you just put in this wicked impulsive move to the downside, again on a smaller time frame, you need 2 degrees of AB basing, okay? So I don't know if the smaller degree, you can see this as 1 degree and 2 degrees. I don't know, but I know that at some point soon, so this has to be an initial break of structure, okay? If it's a zigzag or it's a flat, I don't know, but I'm expecting this move right here, either like this or like this, and then from here, right, a move up, maybe into a 2nd degree of consolidation reversal or pure impulse. Up until now, we have not experienced pure impulse in Bitcoin. Okay, up until now, let's go on the daily time frame. Up until now, everything that we've experienced for the past 6 months, 7 months, has been corrective. You know, consolidation reversal, corrective. So we have yet to experience that impulsive price action. When we do, I think we'll know it. Okay, and you know, lesson learned. My mistake in thinking this was the beginning of impulsive price action, a leading diagonal. Okay, whatever. It's a tough job, yeah? Tough fucking job. Easy to make errors. You know, the read theoretically was okay, but you know, that's why nothing's 100%, right? So in any case, I'm waiting for this move down to get in, and if this proves to be a zigzag, I'm going to hide my stops and liquidation points beyond the 0618. If it's a flat correction, obviously I'm just going to wait until the momentum to the downside is exhausted, and I'm going to use volume to let me know when that is. Also, you can see here this massive volume candle showing a capitulative move to the downside. Let's do that again. Okay, let's keep volume on. But you can see just how much volume there is in this move right here. This is the most volume you've gotten the entire 6 to 7 months in this move right here, right? And why is that? You know, logically, everybody who wants to go long, everybody who wants to go short, everybody who's everybody that was exposed and in this trading range and you know, got hit, that contributes to this massive volume candle right here. And I'm part of that, unfortunately. I'm definitely not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and say I win all my trades. I lose sometimes too, and it sucks. I hate losing. I fucking hate it. But you know, every L that I take, you know, I come back harder. I make it back that much more. That's kind of like part of my motto: never, ever, ever quit. I know I have the skills. I know I have the. I'm obsessive enough. I'm stubborn enough to win, and that's how I win. Because if I, one of the best ways to lose at trading is to quit early. Obviously, sometimes quitting is good if you're just not putting enough effort in and you're not giving yourself a fair chance to win. But if you are, then you're right there. Victory's right around the corner. Just keep going, right? That doesn't mean just throw money at it. It's just you have to be prudent. Maybe lower your leverage after big losses. Take some prudent positions that you're more than likely to win. All that stuff, Young Dasa says, I think this is the final fake out. We're up from here. Yes, that eventually for Bitcoin should be after this final low complex correction. Yeah, I mean, another part of what Young Dasa is saying is the fact that this is such a large volume and the bounce is so massive, right? The bounce from that level was so massive. So, and you can see that not just in Bitcoin, but throughout the market, right? Let's go on the daily time frame. Let's get off the auto. So you can see, throughout the market, you've held structurally, you've held support, okay? It's okay. You're not doing anything out of the ordinary. It's just, this was not impulsive. And so you came back. Every corrective move has a counter. Every A wave has a B wave, okay? So, that is something I'm going to be more cautious of moving forward. If I'm not exactly sure it's impulsive, I have to be that much more prepared for that corrective move, okay, which is going to be complementary to that initial break of structure. Yeah, so you just see that here, boom, boom, right? It's not like you went up and then you're forming a lower low, retesting it as resistance and then going down. No. Okay. Same thing in Polkadot here. Guys, I whittled down the list because there's certain positions I had to sell off and liquidate just, to consolidate into other positions just to survive. And then other positions I got stopped out of. So that's why the watch list is shorter than it was just a day ago. Yeah, right here as well, right? This is obviously a corrective move. It can't be impulsive because you're already retracing beyond the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. So that's Polkadot. Ethereum, right? Corrective. Finally, you can get impulsive. Okay, so that's my read on this move. No, I don't think it's because CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried had a thing and, there was some drama on crypto Twitter. No, how silly is that? Like, that's gonna move the market billions and billions of dollars. Like, anyway. Yeah, I think that's the counter correction that you got from this right here in Zilliqa. I think this one's gonna do really, really well. So Dogecoin actually may be the only one that was actually impulsive, right? So Dogecoin went all the way up like this and then corrected down to the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level of that 5-wave move. So I think that this was this is something we expected from Dogecoin, right? To retrace down to this level right here to the top of this range. So we went up, we came back down, and then also if you look in terms of time, you have some equality in time. I'd say take it from here. Have about 8 days of upwards price action, and then here's about 10 days, right? And I'm not even measuring it perfectly, so it's comparable in terms of the time it took to go up and the time it took to go down. And obviously, right, if you go on the smaller time frames, you can more accurately measure where that wave 5 actually ended. Maybe it ended right here instead of there. But any case, the time up and the time down are comparable. So this is a very likely 5-wave move, 3-wave move, going back to 5 waves. And for that reason, I think this is an easier trade than most, right? Because okay, this looks impulsive, it acts impulsive, you got the volume, everything. So the trade can be taken very simply at this level, and then you can use the midway of the 0618, or you could put your stops and your liquidation points down below here. So I think that's more it's a little more straightforward. Sorry, I'm just looking at this on the small time frame. Okay, so on the small time frame, again, it looks like, after big moves, you always cool off. You get these consolidation reversal patterns or AB bases. Okay, I think that this initial breakup structure was A, and then I feel like you're getting a B here. Okay, I feel like the market's coming down at least to this level, if not a little lower, before continuation. Okay, so kind of like you're kind of seeing this all over. So you see it in Bitcoin, but we haven't gotten that retracement yet. You see it in Cardano. You see that initial break of structure. That's your corrective wave. Now your counter corrective wave is going to be either a flat or a zigzag, doesn't matter, but it's going to be a counter to this. And then you go into either another set of corrective waves or you go into full impulse. That's what I'm going to try to read. Okay, same with DOT here, same with ETH here. Okay, unless this represents full impulse. Okay, because we are already on the higher time frames put in 2 degrees of AB basic. I don't know. I'm trying to read this like you. I'm trying to make sense of this. Is this a 1, 2, and then a leading diagonal into 3? I don't know. So we'll see. And obviously all of these are not going to be exactly the same. Some of them are going to be maybe a leading diagonal. Some of them are going to be a zigzag. Some of them are going to be a flat. Like, the market's not always exactly the same. So yeah, this is what we're trying to see. What's telling me that this is corrective is the drop off in volume. You see, it's volume divergent. So if this was full impulse, I don't think as we go sideways the volume goes down. Perhaps it does, but because we're going sideways, right? But it's slightly inclined to the upside and the volume's going down, which leads me to believe I can expect a little drop down. And we're going to look at the stochastic RSI indicator, see if we can't see any divergence on the smaller time frames. Let's see that. Oops. Yeah, so my stochastic RSI indicator is over bot, okay, and it's crossing bearish right here. So it's letting me know that, okay, this is likely an initial break of structure. This is a consolidation reversal on the smaller time frame, and the next move is going to be, so if this were a B wave to this A wave, this is the A wave, right? If this was the B wave, A and B of this B wave are in here somewhere, and now you're going to get C of this B wave, and this is going to take that momentum indicator down a bit, okay? And at this point, we might enter into, once again, full impulse or a second degree consolidation reversal pattern. So that's what I'm looking for. I've chosen Bitcoin. Why Bitcoin? Because you can go higher leverage on Bitcoin than you can go on other altcoins in the exchange I'm using. Okay, so this is Dogecoin. Same thing. Actually, let's Let's look at it. Oh yeah, we're looking at on the higher time frames. So again, structurally speaking, nothing's really changed. You're fine. It's just, I did not see this as corrective. I'm like, okay, we got our 2 degrees of AB basing, right? But more correction, it's like, fuck me. It's hard to read these corrective moves, right? When is it impulsive? When is it corrective? That is really, really tricky. Because every corrective move ends in an impulse. But it's not, even though it's not fully impulsive, you see what I mean? So yeah, that's Dodo. On the high time frame. This is Litecoin on the high time frame. Again, structurally speaking, nothing's changed. Structurally speaking, you dumped down from higher levels, but you're maintaining that channel of consolidation reversal that you've been holding for, God knows, 6 months. Okay. And in Litecoin, this looks like it may be some sort of zig. No, it can't be a zigzag. It looks to me that you've hit that 0786. Okay, so that's a flat correction. That's a flat correction. Okay, reserve rights. I did not see it making a lower low. I did not see it making a lower low here. But this range, again, the integrity of your consolidation reversal ranges are intact on the higher time frame. And last but not least, synthetics. The integrity of your consolidation reversal patterns are intact. It's very likely that this represents the last corrective move, as this is a counter correction to this initial correction, and then you finally go into impulsive price action after some AB basing on smaller time frames. So my task is to read the smaller time frames to see when we would likely go into that next phase of upside impulsive price action. Okay. So Young Dasa says complex correction. I don't think it was because people, all that drama because Bitcoin is doing what it's doing for the next bull. Yeah. And you think from here on we will have more volatility? Can you check out Zcash? Yeah, definitely can look at Zcash. I think the volatility to the downside is done. I think we will have more volatility, but to the upside. But I don't see us putting in more, waves and counter waves, right? Because obviously I didn't see this counter correction because I didn't read this as a corrective wave, right? I've been saying on the channel, I think this is an impulse or some type of impulse, a leading diagonal, right? I've been kind of reading that throughout the market. So I saw all these matriculations to the upside, and I'm like, okay, those are leading diagonals, right? And you typically get leading diagonals out of, previous choppy price action. But that was wrong. But you don't just get volatility willy-nilly. Like, there is some method to this madness that is, these consolidative, corrective ranges. Like I said, 1, you maintain more or less the integrity of the channel. 2, every corrective wave has a counter. There's your counter. Now you have to go in the opposite way, but on a smaller time frame. Okay, so that's the question here. Are you putting in another round of corrective waves? I don't think so, because I count 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot, and that to me indicates the end. Also, the reason I think this is the last one is look at the volume. Never before have you gotten this much volume in a move. Okay? Not even close. So that to me is the end, the summation of this range. Okay, and moving forward, when I'm playing with these ranges, when we get to the top of the market, I'm gonna look for that capitulative volume before rocking out, because that is a telltale sign. Okay, and then what's the last point? Oh, it's a full moon, and the DXY is telling us that it's time. Okay, that's our other massive indicator, and the DXY is, doing what it's supposed to do. It is breaking down at support. It's breaking down. Most people think we're going to 9K. Okay, maybe we don't follow exactly what the DXY does in inverse, but the fact that this head and shoulders pattern is breaking means that it's highly likely that a big move is right around the corner. Okay, so those are my reasons. Let's add Zcash before I forget. And God, this is a tough job. Tough fucking job. Not YouTubing, but I'm saying like trading, like full time. God, it's tough. It is tough. A lot of traders had tough days today. Even if they don't say it, they did. Zcash looks... I think that this is the counter. God, what a fucking counter. Sorry. My ending diagonal right here. A counter to this. Okay. So if you pull that Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom to the top here. No, that can't be it. I say that can't be it because if this was the counter... If this was the move and this was the counter, then you would have to have respected the phi ratio, the 0.618. Right? And the 0.618 has been breached. So I don't think that's the read here. This is a tough read. Tough trade. Tough trade. I mean, if you're trading it on leverage. If you're trading it on spot, whatever. You don't have to deal so much with the small time frame volatility. Oh, okay. Damn. That is fucking crazy. ABC right there. That's a zigzag. Your intermittent WXY. Okay, so it's a complex correction. It's a WXY. It's a zigzag, and this is the X wave right here. This is the W wave. This is the Z wave. An ending diagonal, a merciless ending diagonal. That's like an ending diagonal you don't wish on your worst enemy. It's fucking heinous. All right, let's go look at Bitcoin on the smaller time frames because I am, it's kind of like a revenge trade, but like a very controlled revenge trade. I want to wait, It's okay to revenge trade if you do it, I think, personally. If you do it, if I do it, and I'm very... very composed and careful, and I'm not rushing, yeah, then I'm fine. Okay. I'm just looking over my emails. Dead alerts from my exchanges saying, "Hey, by the way, that margin, you're about to get margin called." I'm like, "Thanks, assholes." I know. Just can't do anything about it. Oh, Young Dasa. I mean, I know Zcash is going to be great. It's just I've got all my positions. You know, I'm levered up. I've allocated all of my capital already. I've allocated all my capital. I'm looking and waiting for this move. I'm pretty sure this move is coming. Yeah. Let's just go down the list. There's a possibility that you can get a zigzag, okay? And what's a zigzag? It's 5 waves, 3 waves, and then 5 waves. Okay, sometimes that happens. A bullish cross of the stochastic RSI would indicate that that's what's going on. So I'm looking carefully, and that's a possibility here. Because this retracement just about retraced low enough. Let's see. Where you're in zigzag territory. Yeah, you're in zigzag territory for sure. So I'm gonna look out for that as well. Instead of the breakdown, right? What do you guys think? It looks like it's trying to put in a zigzag. It looks like it's trying to put in a zigzag. That's my hunch. I don't think it's coming that much lower. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, if I'm gonna put in a high leverage trade, I want to set my parameters. That's the first thing. Okay, this is not something I do on the channel that much, but you know, if you guys find value in this, let me know. I'll do more of it. But I don't trade that much, to be honest. I trade occasionally, and then I manage my positions. So this is how I would set my trading range for this entry. So I'm gonna use this initial break of structure right here as my trading range, and then obviously the phi ratio of that retracement. So I know if I do get a B wave, that B wave can come all the way down here, but not anywhere beyond this. Okay, if it comes beyond this, then this is not an A wave. This was just an intra-wave correction, and I misread it like an asshole. But if this is a proper read, then it goes something like this. This retracement's contained in this range. So the idea is that I can hide my stops and liquidation points beyond the phi ratio. So that's the idea. I still think that you are going to get a move down here, okay? So I'm going to wait for that. And I'm going to look at the rest of the market. And I'm going to see actually my general watch list to see if anything else is... if anything's broken out yet. Okay, nothing really. it's kind of like the same structure that you can see. I can see a breakdown in most projects. That B wave breakdown that you can see right here is starting to form. It's just, and it's very logical, right? Test, retest, breakout, and then maybe another test, okay? But you don't visit a range once and create so much imbalance, right? With this big wick, you usually fill those wicks before you move on, because it just balances the market. It gives people that were buying in this region, the very few people who had a chance to buy in this region, another opportunity to buy. There's too many buyers, not enough sellers here. Okay, it's not like the market's like, oh, you didn't get a chance to trade this? I'm sorry, let's go back. No, it has everything to do with just balancing the market. That's why they call it imbalances, right? Nothing but buyers. Now, let's give a chance to people. Do you guys want to sell this? If so, we're coming back down. If you're selling this, you might be on the wrong side of the trade, but we're going to give you another chance. It's just the market, buyers and sellers. A market is just a collection of people buying and selling, right? And it naturally balances itself out. That's why those moves, in my estimation, happen more often than not. I unfortunately got shaken out of my XRP trade, but it's fine. It came down way lower than I thought it would. Just, and I did see XRP as being in a corrective wave, but I thought it was a triangle. Yeah, remember I had a symmetrical triangle going, and then it broke down a little bit. I'm like, okay, maybe it's a 333 correction. So this is an A, B, but then it came down all the way the hell down, and it stopped me out, unfortunately. But alas, such is life. Let's go back on the small time frame, because that's what I want to focus on right now. I just want to see if other assets are giving me an inkling, some sort of key insight as to what's likely to happen in Bitcoin. So yeah, you see, it's kind of what's going on here. Your initial break of structure, a little B wave, and then continuation. That's the move I'm expecting. So our momentum indicator, this one is interesting. It's put that A wave in, okay? And now it's already put in a composed B wave and then a secondary A wave. Interesting. Stalking is like hunting, or trading is like hunting. You're stalking your prey. You just wait until it makes sense. This is banned. This is a very, very good trade right here. This is about to break out. This is a falling wedge right here. And then you have your bullish divergence. I like that. Let me see if I can trade that. I don't think I have it here. No, I don't have it, unfortunately. Yeah, this is about to break out. It's a nice falling wedge. That's your initial break of structure. This is clearly your counter. This is going up on a Tuesday. Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking for... Yeah, it's only spot, unfortunately. But this is beautiful. And you see you have your confirmation here. You have your momentum indicator zeroed out. It's all the way oversold. And it has its bullish divergence. It's not so bullishly divergent, but it's crossed bullish, rather. So yeah, that's a nice trade right there. Nice setup. Let's see on the higher time frame what that looks like. Oh, this one is, interestingly enough, another example of an impulse and three-wave move. You got your 1, 2, 3, and then you have your A, B, right? That's a nice move. That's a nice move. Yeah, I really like that setup. Too bad I can't take it on leverage with this exchange. But yeah, that's about to go. Let's go back on the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this gave you more downside, okay? I want to see this come down before getting into any kind of trade. Litecoin's looking good. That looks like an A wave and a triangle. I don't see that coming down much. Sorry. Gee, thanks Coinbase. Coinbase just sent me a text. Bitcoin is up 4% in the past 4 hours. 4.3%. Yeah, 4% in the past 4 hours. Thanks, asshole. You could have told me what was happening when it was, killing my dreams earlier today. Yeah, this looks good. I like this setup here. I'm already in a Litecoin trade, leverage trade, but I can increase it. That may be the move. That may be the move. Instead of Bitcoin. This one's ready to go, in my estimation. I may want to trade this instead. Let's see. Okay, same thing here. I'm using this initial break of structure as my range. So anything below 50.78 I can hide. I'm gonna take this. So I'm just going to be silent for a little bit while I calculate all of this. Calculate the leverage I want to take and everything. So basically, the leverage is going to be such that I can be below this right here. And actually, it's not smart to do this as I'm doing it. What I should do is go into my active trade and look at my actual exchange that I'm using to be more precise, that much more precise. Okay, and then I can see it's around the same thing, around 50. So I can take leverage of my position to the extent that I'm hidden below that. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then the other thing I'm going to do is, I'm not going to trade my whole position. I'm just going to trade a part of it so that I can keep some to play with the margin, just in case I need to. Okay, so that's taken. And it's right below here. My stop point, my liquidation point. So that's a high leveraged long, and I decided to do it on Litecoin instead of Bitcoin for those reasons. Let's see. Let's look at Dogecoin. This looks like it's about to cross. I'm gonna do the same thing with my Dogecoin. Actually, you know what? No, I'm just going to leave it as is. And so yeah, if this is an A wave, then the B wave has to respect the phi ratio. But obviously this is all assuming your read is correct, right? That this is an initial break of structure, and the volume says it is, right? And then this is a B wave of some sort. Maybe it comes down a little bit more. Wouldn't be surprised if it did. Even in Litecoin, to be honest. It could go up from here or it could come down a little more. But Litecoin is retraced already. I like that because of this right here. Do you see that retracement? You kind of already retraced down to the 786, which tells me you're ready to go. Which is different, right? Because you have something like this, kind of like a running flat for your B wave. But in Dogecoin and a lot of other projects, you got something like this. And the retracement's just not sufficient enough for me to be confident in continuation without some sort of drawdown first. And even if Litecoin draws down a little bit more, I won't be surprised. Won't be surprised. But yeah, that's also why you don't go all in completely. You leave some in case your trade, your read is, to play with your margin and to make another entry. So yeah, that's my high leveraged long. And yeah, if you want to go high leveraged, you got to get really precise. You got to go on the small time frame. You got to be precise with your entry. And you got to track it like a hawk. Obviously, if you're buying on spot, you can get as precise as you want, but it's not as important. When I buy on spot, I don't care. I just buy like, oh, this seems like a good enough time, and I buy. It's very carefree, relatively speaking, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what this is doing, but again, I won't be surprised if it comes down a little more, or if it just continues up from here for Litecoin. And I will continue to monitor Doge. Yeah, Young Dasa says, soon we're going to remember this day and be like, this was the final move before the impulsive wave. Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially since, we're a minority of people that look at the charts on a daily basis. Yeah, we're definitely going to remember the bottom, and we're going to remember the tops and all that stuff. Fun. What's more fun is when we're actually making a ton of money. That's when it's really, really fun. And then you could say, yeah, I remember the bottom. There was a full moon. Bitcoin was doing this, tons of volatility, stuff like that. But I think we're going to be just fine. We're going to be just fine. I'm looking at my other positions. It's been accumulation. Let me have a look at BTC. What's BTC doing? Yeah, I think, we're getting that move right here. A, B, C. I wouldn't be surprised if it was some sort of running flat, something like that. So it ended up being a zigzag. And then, boom. A lot of times in these big reversals, you get zigzags because there's a lot of buying pressure so that you don't get flat corrections. But you can see some smaller, well, maybe not reserve rights. Zcash? Nope. Let's see. Some smaller cap altcoins are definitely already in the flat correction zone. Well, I mean, look, Litecoin's already printed a flat correction, essentially. because it's come down in this region right there. Yeah. And as you guys know, the DXY stopped trading, and it will only resume trading at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I think what's going on with the DXY is we're going to gap up and then go down, because I think it's doing a consolidation reversal. The DXY has done what we wanted it to do. Okay, it's not the DXY crashing Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin doing what it needs to do to reverse and go into impulse. That's it. For the first time, we can't blame the DXY. I think once we get the volatility on the small time frame of this last move down, we may go into full impulse, or we may go into the second degree. But there's a chance we go into full impulse and we do it together on stream, which would be cool. We've literally been waiting for months for that. Oh, yeah. I have a feeling, just the way this is working and the way we've created, whoops, what am I doing? The way these levels are liquidity sort of supply, and we've come down and grabbed it again. I have a feeling these counter waves are not going to come down much. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling it's going to be a shallow, quick hit. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. That's what we're going to see. A shallow, quick hit with a running flat, right? Running flat. Boom, boom, boom. And then up and at 'em. I have a feeling that's what you're going to see. Already in Litecoin, is it Litecoin? No, it wasn't Litecoin. Any case, I don't know what I was going. I know what I was going to say, but it's not Litecoin. It's something else that I was thinking about, but it's okay. It's not important. Let's go on even smaller time frame. See what's going on. Whoops, that's not what I meant. I think this looks like a triangle, but triangles have fooled me before. This looks like a triangle. This looks like a triangle to me. I'm going to wait for my second entry for this to cross bullish. If it crosses bullish here, then that's a triangle. If it... Yeah, let's see. gonna do synthetics. I'm gonna look and see. Yeah, I think this is coming. I don't know what this is, but it is some sort of sideways consolidation. Maybe it breaks down, but I won't be surprised if it doesn't break down that much. Again, if you were to take this trade on a high leverage, you would do something like this. And you find out your lower barrier is down here. So interestingly enough, on the 5-minute time frame, let's see on the 15-minute time frame, not yet, but a 5-minute time frame, you're double bottoming and you're oversold. So this is another reason why this may be some sort of ending diagonal, which would make this a large running flat. Okay, and so this may be some sort of zigzag situation where you go 5 waves, 3 waves, and then 5 waves, which will catch a lot of people off guard, right? Who don't read charts, because they're going to be like, oh, we're expecting a breakdown of this, right? But in these situations where you've literally spent the past 24 hours just going down, and then you come to this region of high liquidity, there's no reason to revisit it. You know what I mean? I would not be surprised if price just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I've got all the liquidity. I've got all the juice, all the gas that I need to go higher. I want to go higher and find some shorts or whatever. Just, price. It's like water. It's like electricity. It finds the path of least resistance. Too many people want to buy cheap stuff down here, and it's just it's pushing price up. So that's I guess my explanation here. Let's see. Let's look at Doge. And kind of got the same thing going. Let's see. Okay, seems like it's kind of playing around here. Maybe it's coming down a little bit. Maybe it's just staying here and preparing to go up. But you don't know, right? A lot of trading is not knowing exactly what's going to happen, but high degree of probability price is going to play in this region before it goes back up, if that's your thesis, right? That this is an initial break of structure, this is a counter. The counter can come all the way down here. So that's what I'm playing. Let's see. At this point, unless we get a breakout soon, I feel like it's just coming down. Because it's completely oversold. Or overbought, rather. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's holding strong up there. And you can see our momentum indicators about to cross bullish on the 15-minute time frame. We may just go up from here. Would not be surprised if that happened. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Alright. What do you guys think is going on? Joyride says, was chilling on YouTube and saw this channel. What's up? Welcome. You're more than welcome to hang out with us. Basically, I'm doing some high leveraged longing after today's, fiasco, today's volatility. Trying to catch high leveraged long for what I believe is the beginning of the bull market. So yeah, that's all we're doing here, Jurar. Just trading, And I don't trade often, but when I do, I like leverage. Either high leverage if, I'm trading with a little bit, or low leverage if I'm trading with a lot of bit. Low leverage longs or shorts, whatever. But yeah, bottom of a bear market, I'm going for longs. And I put in my low leverage longs already throughout the day, or restructured them rather. And my high leverage longs I'm managing right now, and those require a little more attention and detail. So that's what we're doing together. This one's looking okay, but we'll see. On the 15-minute time frame, hourly time frame, looking okay. 4-hourly time frame. By okay, I mean I like where the stochastic RSI is. It's just down and in oversold territory, so we've got a runway, as it were. The last thing you want to do is you buy up here, even though sometimes that could, you could stay oversold and continue the move up. Just more often than not, if the move is oversold, it's in this region, it's gonna come down before it retraces back up. So guys, we're waiting for that full impulse, right? But if we don't get that full impulse, it's likely that it's a secondary consolidation reversal. But we don't know if we get the full impulse until we wait and see what it looks like. Because sometimes the impulse starts slow, and then it just keeps going up, and up little by little, little by little, and then it pumps. Fucking tricky. Price action is tricky. Let's go back on the smaller time frames. So yeah, like I said, Bitcoin doesn't seem to me like it's going to come back down and do this, run-of-the-mill regular flat correction, right? If it's really the bottom of a bull market, you're going to see a bunch of running flats. Running flats are exactly what you should see in a really bullish market where there's a lot of buy pressure, because that impulsive portion of that flat correction doesn't want to straighten out. It's just it doesn't want to be vertical. It wants to be more horizontal, and that's what I think we're seeing, right? Is this a bit of a breakout in Cardano? I think so, right? Again, you could say that this is a type of running flat leading into a breakout. Maybe, right, for Polkadot as well. That's my hunch. Synthetics as well. I'm just gonna put something else in, guys. I like to put some, once in a while, just to, I don't know if it's an adrenaline thing or just like I have issues, but I like to put in high risk, high leveraged longs from time to time with a small margin, right? With a little bit of capital. This is what I just did here. And then with tight stops. But that's just a small portion of what I trade. So I longed it from here, and I'm hiding my stops below all of this mess right here. So I'm just going to hide my stops down here. I don't know, it's just a level of satisfaction I get from beating the market and like feeling like I'm getting away with something, I levered the shit out of this position and it's still alive, something like that. Risk management's important, though. You don't want to fuck around and get liquidated left and right. Let's see. I think I want to hide. Let's see. Yeah, because if I come down here, I'm definitely getting smoked. So I'm just gonna put it here. Yeah, this is a relatively low risk, high reward play. Low risk, high reward play. Let's see. And I mean, also my reasoning is, after all of this down, just on the higher time frames, after all of this, what the hell else you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, so you're telling me you did all of this and came down all this way just to like hang out here? No, you're gonna get on with it because you grabbed the liquidity, right? You grabbed the liquidity once, you grabbed the liquidity twice, and now you're good, right? Obviously, you grabbed it more times before, but just in the recent past, you put in your corrective move and then your counter. Now you should be good to go on a high time frame. On lower time frame, obviously, you're you might want to put in more consolidation reversal patterns. But yeah, for this, for instance, I want to see a breakout post haste, or else I'm out. This is kind of like a high leveraged position that I'm taking. That is very small margin for error. So I'm going to monitor this in real time. I used to trade like this all the time, like indiscriminately. But now, obviously with time and experience, you understand that most of your trades are going to be a lot more conservative, a lot more margin. You're going to give yourself a better chance at success. It's not always going to be, a full tilt roller coaster ride into, leverage town. So we'll see. But when it works great. But I do not recommend it for like a steady diet. It's just too much, and it's gonna take a toll on your body and your mental health and all that stuff. I really recommend, if you do leverage, you do it conservatively. Try to control your greed, because you're like, ooh, well, if I just add an X, I can make that much. You don't want to do that, because the losses pile up, and they hurt in such a way that if you get enough of them, you're out of the game. What I do here? Let's see. Oh wow, Joyride has a long running at 17.6. That's a great entry. I'm assuming that's for Bitcoin. Yeah, I think it's time to go long, honestly. It is time to go long. What's Dogecoin doing? Ooh, is this a breakout? I think this is, right? Let's see on the higher time frame. That looks like it to me, to be honest. That looks like a breakout to me. Let's see. Who's going to break out first? Or are we going to break out? Or is this just the last wave of that B wave? Zilica's looking like it's leaving. Doesn't look like this is a B wave that's coming to the top and then finding some resistance and then turning back down, right? I love Zilica for that reason. When it gets bullish, it gets really fucking bullish. Cardano's also looking quite breakouty. Is this a breakout? Is this a proper breakout? Are we participating in the breakout? Trading breakouts is tough. I know everybody wants to do it because it's sexy and it's, if you get it right, it's the best thing. But low margin for error. And if you get it wrong, you get smoked. So I'm not necessarily a breakout trader, but I will try to breakout trade this position right here. Let's go on the smaller time frame, see what this looks like. Okay, that doesn't necessarily tell me that this is reversing, even though it's overbought on the small time frame, on the 5-minute time frame. It may just be an intra-wave correction, right? Because there's some resistance up here. So let's see. We're just gonna shuffle through and see what the market is generally doing. So we're finding resistance where we should find resistance, which is normal. thing is we want to find resistance and then intra-wave correct. At least I do for this, right? If I want to stay in this position. But what I can do is, let's see, I can no longer do that. I'm trying to think. Okay, you know that it's impulsive if it holds the 0618. So that's something we can do. Say on the small, even on the small time frame, it's time frame agnostic, doesn't matter. I would say the impulse starts here. It's possible that the impulse starts here, or it can start there. I don't know. Let's see. So this can be either one of two things. It can be a retest of this resistance that we just broke, or it can be a reversal. Let's see what it is. Okay. So if it's a retest, what we're going to get is something like this, right? And then continuation. If it's a reversal, what you're going to get is a wave, B wave, but again, you're going to stop here, pivot, and then you're going to come down. So we'll see. And again, this is something I'm trading on high leverage with the really tight stop, so I'm monitoring it extra close. Let's see. So our momentum indicator is definitely all the way in overbought territory, but you know that with big moves, impulsive moves, sometimes you can stay overbought and just coil up here, which is okay. So that's not going to tell us much. Although you're overbought on the small time frames as well, but again, you can just hang out here. What's the rest of the market doing? As long as this level right here that you've just broken is retested and then continued upon, then you know it's bullish in the short time frame, right? Short term. Bitcoin seems not that Bitcoin seems kind of sleepy, relatively speaking. Kind of like came up here, it's like, yeah. Let's see. Retesting. You know, we want to see, does anything break this support? In which case, if that's going to be broken, you know that you're going to get the other leg of that B wave, most likely. Okay, so synthetics seems to be finding some sort of support here, which is what you want to see if you want to see continuation to the upside. So basically, if we're correct and we took that trade and this long continues, we want to see this held right here. We do not want to see that broken. Do not want to see that broken. Because if it is, then you're likely coming way lower. So we'll see. Let's see. Once again, I do not recommend taking high leverage trades unless you really are comfortable doing that and something you practice, and you're practicing good risk management, especially at the bottom of a market. The smartest thing to do is just accumulate on spot, right? Accumulate on spot and then wait. I do this for a living, so I'm going to have some leveraged longs just because that's what I like. What's Bitcoin doing? What's Zcash doing? So are we finding support at the top of this range? So far, yes, we are finding some support. Doesn't mean we're not going to break it, but we are finding some support. We are finding some support. And again, what you want to see, if this is a wave 1, wave 2 situation, is the timing for whatever this is to be almost comparable on the way up and the way down. So if this is an impulse, we want the 0618 to hold, and we want the time it takes to be comparable. I think we just broke the 0618 here. Okay. I think we just broke that. But then again, I'm assuming that the impulse starts here. It may start here, but I'm assuming it starts here. Let's see on the 15-minute. Oh, man. It's been a stressful day. Trading is definitely high stress, high. I mean, you just have to be in shape to do this shit. You really do. Okay. I'm relatively holding this as support, which is what you want to see. Also, we want to see this reset, this momentum indicator reset. That's a good sign. What's Bitcoin doing? Nothing really. It's kind of retesting this as support, but very slowly. It's looking okay. Okay. Still not definitive one way or the other, but there's a possibility that this may be the beginning of the breakout. and that we do not continue to the downside. And, for this corrective move, that this is the extent of the corrective move right here, and that this was a breakout retest, and then you get a breakout. Okay, that's still on the table. And again, if this is a breakout, it doesn't necessarily have to be impulsive, right? It could be corrective breakout, corrective retest before you go into impulsive price action. So I misspoke in saying that we definitely want to see this hold the 0618. It doesn't necessarily have to. It could just be a breakout, retest, breakout. In which case, this would be your, I don't know, is that it? It's kind of like, not so much a triangle. I would say it's more lateral. Here, let's use actual lines. Something like this. Something like that. A wedge, right? A triangle. And that makes sense, right? Because a triangle is a corrective sequence. You have this is A, this is your B wave, if that's your corrective triangle. A, B, C, D, E, somewhere in there. Breakout, retest, breakout. Okay? That's the bullish small time frame sort of read on that. And again, I don't typically do this. You guys know this. I'm not trading like every little move here and there. This is just a one-off because I think we're at the bottom of the market, and I wanted to take a high leveraged long. So that's let's hope that's correct. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. That'd be fun. Let's look at this on the high time frame. I don't think I've ever, or if I have, I don't remember looking at synthetics on a high time frame. You guys know why I listen to classical music? It's because when I first started trading, I would get jitters when I was trading. I literally would shake from the pressure and from the nerves. I'd get really nervous, because it's just you're making these decisions, and money's involved, and I got nervous. I got really nervous. And so part of what I did to relax and calm down and be able to put my trades in was to listen to classical music. That's why I listen to classical music on streams. It's just, it stuck with me, Let's find a better chart. Yeah, that may have been the best chart right there. The Binance chart. Does anybody on this stream use FTX? Like, I don't know anybody who uses it. Uh, I, I've never used it. I've tried it, but I've never actually used it. And so I've just never understood how they had so much, such a wide customer base and so many profits from actual trading. Nobody actually uses it. Everybody uses Binance and Femex and KuCoin, In any case, yeah, I don't really see. I can't make any projection on here because I don't see any impulses. I just see corrective price action. Anyway, let's go back to our small time frame trade. Hopefully you guys voted. We need people to vote. Don't complain afterwards when you don't like the results. Vote, 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 vote. Maybe it's too late already, but if you're American, I know not everybody is American, but if you are American, I hope you voted today. Let's see. Okay, looks like Bitcoin went down a little bit. These B waves sometimes take a while to put in that impulse, that final impulse, and you're like, that's not gonna happen, and then eventually it happens, and you're like, fuck. The way this is, it looks like it's gonna continue down. You can always cross, but it just looks like it's going to continue down. Looks like it's going to continue down. Yeah, it looks like it. Doesn't it? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Young Dasa says he does not use FTX. He uses Coinbase. I don't know anybody who uses FTX, to be honest. It's just, I've tried it. It's not user friendly. It's not a nice interface, and the trading fees are high, and like so. I've never needed to use it because everything, literally everything I need can be found on either Coinbase, KuCoin, or Femex. So I've never had to, or Binance US, right? Or Binance before, right? Before, it was not allowed for us Americans to use Binance, the regular Binance. I used Binance US. I used the regular Binance, and then I had to use Binance US. And as a result, I didn't. Because it's a bit restrictive. But yeah, FTX is not really a friendly exchange. So what is going on here? Are you going to break down? Are you going to break up? Pick one. B waves. Sometimes I had when I was trading earlier in my career, I would, I was learning, and I'm still learning, but I would have regular habit of writing down rules and notes. And one of the rules or notes or observations that I wrote down was, if it's taking a while, it's likely a B wave or an X wave. So the B waves and X waves typically take their time, because that's where consolidation happens. That's where, like, you know, you're gathering orders and stuff. So I would not be surprised if this read were correct in that this is a B wave. Either all of this is a B wave, okay? Or this is the B wave to this A wave, and then this breakout is an A wave, and this retest is another B wave. So yeah, they take their time. I remember when I first started, I used to literally sit on the charts for 17 hours a day, 18 hours a day. First thing, last thing. First thing I'd do waking up, last thing I would do going to sleep. And, you know, to take a trade, before taking a trade, I would just look at the chart for hours, wait for my opportunity, take it, and then I'd monitor it for the whole time. I would monitor the trade the whole entire time. It's just like, oh my god. That was back when I was trading small time frames. It's very tough. Very tough. Hard to get good sleep too when you're worried about a position overnight, you know? It's tough. What is going on here? Either break down or break up. What do you want to do? I feel like I've seen this before. This pattern. It's A wave, B wave. This is a pivot. And this is most likely going to come down. And then here, maybe it's the same thing is happening. Maybe. Don't know. I wouldn't be surprised though. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what was happening. Yeah, Cardano looks like it wants to lose this level. Down here somewhere. I think what we'll know once, I think the high probability read is once this starts coming back up, this momentum on the 5-minute, if this plane doesn't break, we're definitely going to do something like this. Right? Something like that. But if it breaks, then yeah, we're good. We're good. It's either the bull market or the second degree of AB basing. on the small time frame. In these days where the market is really busy, I'm really busy. I work like a dog. I don't even have any appetite. It's like trading. Man. That's why I really like, swing trading and, taking these long positions, especially when I'm catching a trend, because you just don't have to worry so much. This day trading, oof, it can do a number on your health if you don't know how to manage it. And I never really knew how to manage it, all while being successful and giving it the attention it deserves. I never figured that out. And I'm happy I didn't, because I'm much, much happier swinging. Alright, let's look in the general watch list to see if anything's made any moves yet. Thus far, it does look like it's at resistance and wants to put in a small move to the downside before continuation. Just generally speaking, the market in general, Yeah. Definitely no breakouts yet, and if anything, support is being tested and probably likely to be lost on most of these projects. Yeah. Wait a little bit longer to see what this next move up looks like on the smaller time frames. I'm gonna wait for that to cross bullish and see. After this move on the small time frames, I'm gonna call it a stream. I'm gonna determine what that is, call it a stream, and then do something else with my night. I got court tomorrow. I got a speeding ticket. Or no, they said I ran a red light, or I passed a bus. So yeah, they're trying to take all my money at the bottom of a market. I'm not gonna let it happen. I'm showing up to court. I'm gonna contest it. So yeah, I can't stay up too late. Okay, let's see. We've got our cross. right here on the small 5-minute time frame. And if that results in a move past this level, then we're good. We can walk away. Our trade was successful. If not, we bail. If we kind of hang out here-ish, or even hang out down here, we know that this is gonna come, and we bail. Because, right, we are hiding our stops and liquidations below all of that price action. What's Bitcoin doing? Nothing much. Bitcoin's tame and quiet, and unlike it was the whole of today, Bitcoin's very quiet right now. Okay, here we go. Let's see. And then we'll also look and see if anything else is breaking out. Because usually what happens is the market doesn't always do the same thing. But if Zcash, for instance, starts to break out, then it's likely that synthetics will and Bitcoin will eventually as well. So we're going to look and see, is anything breaking out? Dogecoin, is it anything real? If things start to find resistance here and then start to head down, you know it's probably going to happen in your asset as well. Bitcoin's probably going to be the last to move because this is alt season. Let's see. The promising thing is that the breakout is happening as you're crossed bullish in oversold territory, meaning you have quite a lot of runway to work out the move. You're not all the way up here, so something has to happen between this and this, so you have some time. So it's likely that you make that move. But if you start to waste time by going sideways and up and down, and then this slowly matriculates up, then you know for sure that's the likely move is the downside rejection. So who's going to break out first or reject first? We'll see. Trying to catch a breakout from a bear market to a bull market is very tough and takes a great deal of patience. We've been looking for it. We haven't gotten it. Will we get it? Synthetic seems to be in the lead. Litecoin probably runner up. Dogecoin, a little bit of resistance up here. If this is a breakout, you shouldn't be getting resistance again since you've already tested that, retested. You should just break out if you're going to break out. But if you're going to reject, you're going to do something like this. And then while you're kind of deciding if this is resistance again, your momentum indicator is going to become overbought again. So we'll give it a few more minutes, and if The breakout doesn't happen in a few more minutes. It's not going to happen on this pass. Okay, wait. Is Doge broken out? 136? No. Synthetic seems to be leading the pack. So I think if there's anything that we'll learn about the breakout first, it's going to be from synthetics. You don't want to find resistance there. If you do, it's got to be brief. It's got to be quick. Because in impulse, by definition, quick. Yeah, if you find resistance and you're kind of hanging out here, then this is a pivot. It's not a breakout. It's a pivot. It's a pivot. Let's give it one more candle. And by then, you should pretty much be at the top here. This is the beauty of the small time frame. Some people say, oh, it's all about, the short time frame or a large time frame. It really depends what you're trying to do. For day trading, obviously, your small time frame. If you're putting in a move like this, a high leveraged trade that requires precision entry, you need to be able to see the small time frame and execute on a small time frame, right? Or else, you just can't do it, right? Because your margin for error is so small, you need to be able to see, 5-minute chart, how that moves. So far, so good, right? We've broken this. Now what we want to do is retest it and continue. We do not want to find this as another resistance. Okay? And we want to do it relatively quickly. Again, you don't want to wait until this is overbought. Okay, is anything else moving? No, it looks like synthetics is first out the gate. Typically is. Okay, again, a little bit of resistance over here is okay. You understand that any level that you break, you retest. So that's fine. You just don't want to reject from it. Break and retest is okay. Break and reject is a no-no for continuation. Okay, what's everything else doing? Is anything rejecting? Okay, DOT isn't looking so hot, nor is Ethereum. DOT's not looking so hot. Cardano's not looking so hot. Ethereum's not looking so hot. ZIL's not looking so hot. Dogecoin's not looking so hot. Dodo's not looking so hot. Litecoin's not looking so hot. RSR's not looking so hot. I think synthetics is looking particularly good. But then again, the market may just not be ready to break out right now. We're going to wait for one more candle because this would be the retest, right? If you go on even smaller time frame, whoops. So on the minute, you should see that flat correction right on top here, okay? I'm going to lean on the side of this probably not breaking out right now, just because nothing really seems to be breaking out. Let's go back on the 5-minute time frame. Jeez. There we go. If it were to break out, you'd see other people join the party. Like Cardano's not, Dot's not, Bitcoin's not, Ethereum's not, Zill's not, Doge's not, Dodo's not, Litecoin's not, Reserve Rights isn't. So it's likely not happening right now. It's also possible, and let's check Zcash. Zcash is also not really, it's kind of stuck at that level like I was saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the position in slight profit, given that it's more than likely that we come back down. I'm just going to wait one more candle and see. Obviously, I don't want to fade the move. If it's going to break out, definitely want to participate, but two things are likely happening. Either synthetics is ahead of the curve and it's breaking out before everything else is going to break out. So the fact that other things are not yet broken out, it's just that they're not that far along yet. But even more than not breaking out, they seem to be rejecting. Is that rejection I see? It's either retest or rejection. Hard to tell. Yeah, I think this is a rejection at this point. My gut says to close. Okay, position closed. Okay, and so, that's kind of how you do it. You're gonna have to babysit these positions when you're taking high leverage, small time frames, because you just can't throw your stops and liquidations far from the place of too far, because if it's high leverage, it just doesn't work unless you put in a lot of margin, in which case your risk reward is out of whack. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wait for this to retest, then I'm gonna get back in. So that's pretty much it. You see, it does take a lot of time and effort and energy, but yeah, that's trading. Guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope today wasn't too difficult for you. If it was, definitely keep your head up. You're gonna make it. Trust me, you are going to make it. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Just keep going. Stay strong. Stay positive, and continue to practice good risk management, and all your skills. Put them to good use. All right. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.